Hey, this is Aaron. This is my LA5. Right now, we're waiting for the button to be pressed. And when we press it, it starts counting every 1 second. And when we tilt the joystick up, it increases the speed. And now it's counting every half second. And when we press the button again, it starts to pause. And then when we press it again, it unpauses and it continues to count every half second. The lowest speed this can go is 2 seconds. So I implemented a 5-state machine. The initial state would go to the start state where we would wait for the button to be pressed. And in that state, we would display 0 and wait for the button to be pressed again. So it'll start counting. So when the button is pressed, it'll go to the press state, which would increment depending on the speed it is. And then when the button is pressed again, we would go to the pause state where it stops counting. And then when the button is pressed again, it would loop back to the press state. The only difficulties I had for this lab was trying to implement the change of speeds. But I remembered we can set a variable that'll change, and that can increment depending on the speed we want to. So for example, if the variable was 4 seconds, since the state machine was running 500 milliseconds, it'll count every 2 seconds if we had a variable that counted. And overall, the lab was pretty fun.